how would you ensure smooth communication and teamwork with those venues? Obviously, we've touched on it slightly, but what do you think is really important in, you know, that working relationship with venues to make sure that the couple's vision is really brought to life?
Yeah, definitely. So I think if I'm booked by a couple and it's a new venue, then I'll go and visit them immediately,
Absolutely.
as I said.
Yeah.
If it's a couple that maybe a venue that I've worked with regularly, I might just pop them an email to say I'm the celebrant for that day.
Great.
Normally, the week before the ceremony, I'll pick up the phone just to say who's in charge today. I'm the celebrant that day.
Great.
This is what I need that day, because sometimes you might need a table for a certificate signing
absolutely.
or for a symbolic ritual. And I also ask them, what do you need from me as well? So I make sure that we've got mobile numbers if we need to communicate on the day.
Great.
And then I think timing is always important. I would rather be there super early than just running in. And I think they appreciate that as well.
Yeah, I really think they do. And actually, that's something that from personal experience, there was a ceremony that I led last August. And you know what August is like in the UK. It can be a little bit iffy in terms of weather. We hope it's going to be a beautiful summer's day, but you just never know.
Yeah.
And this particular couple, they'd flown in from America and they'd always dreamt about having their English country garden wedding. It was at a beautiful venue, Lucknow Park. So it was in the grounds. Beautiful venue with the wall garden and everything. And they dreamt about this day. But on the day itself, we were having those typical thunderstorms overhead. And there was a bit of a worry. The air was very humid and we were thinking, oh, what's going to happen? And actually, when I got there, I kind of had a little, you know, meeting with the venue team. And this was all going on while the bride and groom were just getting ready. Like they weren't really, they'd been in to see the bride and said, we may have to bring it inside. And I know she wasn't very happy with that decision. And it was something that, you know, she'd had a heart set on this garden wedding. So while they were then off still getting ready and enjoying their morning, myself and the venue team were like checking out all the weather apps, looking at timings, looking at, you know, there's all those apps that show you when the rain cloud's coming over, all of this.
All like focused on it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I suggested to them, what do we think about bringing the ceremony forward slightly by, say, 15 minutes? We looked at the timings with the thunderstorm and when, you know, we may have had rain. Some apps were saying we were going to get it. Some were saying, no, you'll be fine. So it was a little bit risky anyway. But we said, well, look, that's going to be at this time. If we start 15 minutes earlier, the ceremony is going to be way clear of that. So by the time the rain comes, we're all going to be heading inside anyway.
Perfect.
So I kind of had that chat with them and we discussed it and we said, well, yeah, I'm happy with that. You're happy with that. Like we were all happy as a venue team and myself. So I then went and spoke to the bride separately. You know, we had a calm moment. I went and said hello to her and I said, oh, I'm just wondering, obviously I know your heart's set on this garden wedding. How would you feel about bringing it early? I knew she was already in her dress and she was already ready.
Yes.
So she was like, absolutely, if it means I can get married in the garden, I want to do it.
Perfect.
So that was what we did. And I think that was an example of that communication, myself and the venue. We kind of made those decisions together.
Yes.
We worked together as a team. You know, they got all hands on deck, moving all the chairs back out because they